Aloha folks, and welcome back to the Klipper Golf Course. I'm joined again by my good friend Neal Takara. Neal is a representative for the Titleist Golf Company in the state of Hawaii. And today we are here talking about wedges. And more specifically, we're talking about Vokey wedges. Bob Vokey, right?
Correct.
And just like Scotty Cameron, Bob Vokey's a real person.
Absolutely.
Right, so that's kind of interesting how Titleist has partnered with these two independent designers, right? I know Scotty Cameron, we talked about in the last video, Scotty Cameron used to design wedges, not wedges, putters, right? And prior to his affiliation with Titleist, how about Bob Vokey? Was he also doing the same thing?
Actually, Bob Vokey, before he came to Titleist, he was working for another manufacturer. And to be quite honest, it wasn't even designing wedges, to be honest with you. He was doing some other projects with another company. But when he came over to Titleist, from what I understand, is he volunteered to head up the wedge side of it and says, yeah, I'd like to take a crack at designing some wedges for the company. The thing about Voke is, real genuine person, nicest guy, but he's very meticulous about his work. He's very, very knowledgeable about what he does and very meticulous about every little thing associated with a wedge. A little grind here or a little shave on the edge here. I mean, every little thing he does serves a purpose.
Wow.
And again, similar to Scotty, a lot of what goes into the design of their wedges is a lot of feedback that we get from our tour players.
And that's important, right?
Yeah.
Because who knows better than the guy that's making a living using the wedge, right?
Exactly. So a lot of times, I mean, you see it, whether it's at a Sony Open or it could be another PGA Tour event, but they're constantly having conversations and interactions with the touring pros, because they're kind of telling them, here's what this wedge is designed to do, here's what this bounce is designed to do. And a lot of times as a tour pro, they play in so many different conditions that they may be looking for something a little bit different to help them hit a certain shot. And he always, has his notebook with him, he's taking notes, and it always goes into the design element of the wedges.
Right.
Aaron Dill, who is actually the guy that is on tour most often now, Bob, I'm not sure how many events he's out there now, but Aaron Dill, who's out there basically every week, he's like the guy out there now who gets all the feedback, collaborates with Voke, and does a lot of things when it comes to wedge design, and always seems to roll out better products year after year.
Well, I remember back in the day, right, for us, I mean, it was either you're going to use a Wilson wedge or you're going to use a Hogan wedge, right? Now, my goodness, every major manufacturer is manufacturing a wedge or producing a wedge or wedges, and they're all good out there. But I think the one thing, in my opinion, that separates Vokey's from the rest is the variety of wedges. You probably have more SKUs than any other company out there.
Well, we have a lot of versatility in our wedges. We have multiple bounce options available. We have multiple lofts and bounce. I mean, we talk about grinds. I mean, a lot of different grinds available.
What is a grind?
The grind basically is the design on the sole of the club here. So if you were to look at this one here, this is what we call the S grind.
Okay.
And if you were to look here, it has a little bit of relief here on the trailing edge.
Okay.
This is a 10-degree bounce. So all of our 10-degree bounce wedges have the S grind on top of that. So it's a little bit relief on the trailing edge.
Okay.
This particular grind here is called the T grind. Now this grind here, you can see there's a relief on the trailing edge, relief on the toe area, relief here on the heel area. So it provides you with a little bit more versatility. If you like to open up your club face a little bit, if you like to kind of hood it down and play a little bit of bump and run and use that forward bounce, it just creates a lot more versatility. So it's not just the S grind, it's not just the T grind, but we have multiple other grinds like the M grind, the D grind, the K grind, the F. I mean, there's so many different grinds available. Now, they're not all available in a specific loft or bounce, but it gives the golfer options to, you know, find something that's going to be more comfortable for them and provide them with the opportunity to create shots around the green that suits their game. Because not all golfers are the same. You and I both know that,
I know
right?
that. And you know, what little I know you know a lot more than me on this, but you know, the type of swing you have, right? If you go steep, sharp angle down to the ground, or if you sweep it a little more level with the ground, it would definitely impact how you choose your wedge, how you choose your grind, your soul, right?
Absolutely. I mean, angle of attack has a lot to do with finding the proper bounce for yourself. Now, a lot of times, golfers are unsure, you know, of what bounce angle should I be using.
Right.
And you know, a lot of times maybe they feel reluctant to ask their fellow golf professional at their golf course, or maybe one of the guys at one of the golf shops. But don't be afraid to ask those guys. You know, hey, you know, I tend to make deep divots. I'm not sure what bounce I should be using on my wedges, and they'll be more than happy to kind of explain to you what would suit you best. Now, when you talk about somebody that has a very steep angle of attack that makes a deep divot, you know, something with a high amount of bounce is going to help that person move that club head through the turf.
Get it out of the ground.
Exactly.
Got it.
Now, on the flip side, if you have somebody that has a very shallow angle of attack, or barely makes a divot, or just kind of brushes the surface and doesn't really get down after it, if you were to use something in a high bounce, you're going to be contacting the surface.
The sole of the club gets in the way.
So you're not going to be making consistent contact. So again, you want something more in a mid or a low bounce for things like that. So there's a lot of different factors that goes into finding the proper wedge for your game. And you know, with the amount of options that we do have, I'm sure that you know, we have something for every golfer.
Absolutely. And if you go to your website, right, they have it all listed out there, right?
Yes, we do have the specs listed as far as what our different loft and bounce options are, as well as the different grinds.
And there's a little, if I remember correctly, I went there a while ago, but there's a little description too, right? So it gives you a little bit of an idea which player fits into that.
Exactly. And the other thing too to keep in mind is our wedges this is our tour chrome finish, but we do have it available in a brushed steel and also a jet black finish, which is kind of a matte black finish.
Right.
So we have a couple of different options as far as how you want your wedges to look.
Right. To either like match your set or suit your eye, right?
Correct. Because you know, golfers are very particular.
Very particular, right?
So they want their set to look a certain way.
Absolutely.
So we have some options for them that hopefully dress up their bag.
Right, and you got some posers out there like me, so even if you can't play good, you want to look good. You want your clubs to look all specced out, right? All right, so that was really good. You got anything more to add to that?
No, you know, all I can say is that you know, the partnerships we have with Bob Vokey and Titleist, Scotty Cameron and Titleist, you know, very fortunate to have them be a part of our team, and you know, they continue to year after year produce excellent products out there, and hopefully they'll be part of our team for many more years.
No, absolutely. And I know, you know, just by working in the shop, every time you turn over a new product line, right, new season, there's a lot of buzz. People are asking, did you get the new, you know? So yeah, doing a great job with that. But thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, and for all of you out there watching us, we have a special, and it's 15% off of wedges this week, okay? So remember to like, subscribe. We'd love a share too. Go ahead and share the video so everyone else can take advantage as well. Then head on out to the Klipper Golf Course, and we're gonna give you 15% off of your next purchase of a wedge. This week only at the Klipper, and we'll see you at the Klipper. Aloha.
Aloha.